Hey guys, welcome back to my MetaHuman in Unreal Engine series. Today, we're diving into how to use the Mutable plugin with MetaHumans so that your character can switch between different outfits in-game like this. Customizing characters has always been one of my favorite parts of any game. It's honestly what inspired this whole MetaHuman series. I wanted to bring that same joy of character creation into my own games. In my previous tutorials, I've covered most of the ways that you can customize MetaHumans. The next step is putting all of that into a real-time in-game system. That's where the Mutable plugin comes in. If you've never used it before, the Mutable plugin lets you create customizable characters and assets in real time, like changing outfits, body shapes, and hairstyles, all without needing to load every mesh into memory, which means it's super powerful and optimized for building character creation systems. And today I'll walk you through the basics on how to get started with it. Before we start with the Mutable plugin, I would recommend checking out some of my previous tutorials, like 1, importing your MetaHuman in Unreal Engine so that you have a 3D character as a base, 2, creating custom clothing so that your character can switch between different outfits, and 3, turning your MetaHuman into a video game character with third-person content so that your character can walk around in your 3D scene. I will link all of these down below. So yeah, just a quick preview. This is the MetaHuman that I will be using. As you can see, I set it up so that it's a third-person character. And here's the clothing that I will be using for the tutorial, which I made myself in previous tutorials. So we have this black leather outfit, this yellow leather and skirt outfit, and this sparkly jean outfit. Just a quick note, when I created some of these outfits, I wasn't really thinking about mix and matching tops and bottoms, so they're grouped together for the first 2 outfits. But as you'll see, it's the same principle whether your outfits are grouped or not. First thing that we'll want to do is enable the plugin, so go to Edit, Plugins, search for Mutable, and check all of them, and then restart. Okay, so I'll create a new folder and call it Mutable. Then right-click, Mutable, Customizable Object. I'll call it CO Mutable for Customizable Object. Then open it up. The first thing that we'll want to do is set up our body as base. So right-click, search skeletal mesh. Where it says skeletal mesh, here I'll just find the body that I'm using for my MetaHuman. And drag it here. Hide all. If you click on type here, you can have the meshes show up first and then select LOD0. Then create another skeletal mesh for the face. Again, find your face mesh. And drag it under skeletal mesh. Hide all, type. We're looking for head synthesize. You can select LOD0 again, but for me it was doing some weird shadow things, so I will select LOD3. pull out this node and search for mesh section. And do the same for your face mesh. Make sure that the materials that appear under material are correct. And this is basically where you're always going to be setting up your materials in this customizable object. All right, now create a mesh component. And call it body. And then plug in both body and face. In reference skeletal mesh, make sure to put your body mesh in here. And then plug into components. Compile and save. And now you can see that the character in the preview is right here. We will be using a very similar structure for the clothing. So let's start again with a skeletal mesh. Find your first piece of clothing, drag it under a skeletal mesh here, then mesh section, put your materials for your clothing in here, next create an add to mesh component because we're adding the clothing meshes to the mesh component body. So here in parent component name, use the same name for parent component. So we used body. All right, now I'm just going to copy paste this setup for the next outfit. Then drag my second outfit mesh in here. And drag my second material in here as well. Then copy paste for third outfit again. Sometimes when an item consists of two parts, you basically have to plug it into two different mesh sections so that the materials are properly applied. So this is what I did for this jacket and crop top combo. Then we're going to do the same thing for the pants. All right, now you want a component switch. This will let you choose between different mesh components. Then in the switch parameter, we want to add an enum parameter, which I will name outfits. This is a parameter type that lets you define a list of named options and then choose one of them. Then here I will add 3 values since I have 3 outfits. I'm naming them outfit 1, outfit 2, and outfit 3. And then plug all of the outfits in their respective place in the component switch. And then plug that in the base object at the top. Compile it and save. And oops, I think I accidentally switched the material, so let me fix that real quick. All right, and now you can see that here you can switch between the 3 outfits. And yeah, I think that fixed it, and now it works perfectly. And we're basically, again, going to replicate the exact same thing for shoes. I won't add commentary for this since it's the exact same process, so you can just skip to the end if you want to see the final mutable graph. All right, so as you can see, here's my final mutable graph. I can change between outfits as well as shoes. All right, so now we want to add this setup to our character. So right-click on your customizable object, create a new instance. Again, here you can see the customization options. Then go to your third-person blueprint. Click on your body mesh. Go to the add here, customizable skeletal. In customizable object instance, find the instance that you just created. The component name should be the same as the one that we set up in our customizable object, so body. And then compile and save. There is this weird bug where the body just kind of disappears, but it's quite easy to work around. So here in component index, change it to 0, compile and save, and then switch it back to -1. Compile and save, and here it is. All right, so now we set it up for our 3D character. Okay, so now we want to add some key bindings so that we can switch between different outfits in-game. So the way that I wanted to set it up is that when I would press 1, it would cycle through outfits. When I press 2, cycled through shoes, and 3, switching between different sunglasses. It's all handled in the event graph using a super simple loop, so it'll be easy to add more options later if you want to add more outfits. So let's go to our event graph. First search for key 1, then add a sequence node to split the logic into 2 steps. So first we want to update the outfit index, then apply the outfit change using mutable. Then let's create a new variable on the left here. I'm going to call it current outfit index. This variable is meant to track which outfit we're currently showing. Change the type to integer since it's going to store a number of which outfit we're on. Drag it into the graph, choose get, which we'll use to read the current index before we update it. Then add an add node and change this to 1. Basically, we're increasing the index by 1 every time we press the key so that if we press it once, it's outfit 1. If we press it again, it's outfit 2, etc. Drag out from the add node and search for the percentage sign, also called modulo. This node makes sure that our index loops back around instead of going too high so that when we hit the max number of outfits available, it goes back to 0 instead of breaking. So here, change the number to 3 since we currently have 3 outfits right now. Now drag current outfit index and select set and plug it in. Then drag your then 0 pin from the sequence node into the set node. And that finishes the part where we update the outfit index. Next, drag your customizable skeletal component into the graph. From it, drag out and search for Get Customizable Object Instance. Basically, what this does is that it gives us access to the mutable system that we created at runtime. Then search for Set Int Parameter Selected option. Now let's create another variable. I'm calling mine outfit names. Set its type to string since we'll be using text to match the names of outfits in our mutable setup. Then click the little grid icon on the right of the variable type to turn it into an array. And basically this will let us store a list of all the outfit options that we want to cycle through. So add 3 elements and make sure that they match the names of your outfits in the mutable graph. Go back to check if you need to. Mine were outfit 1, outfit 2, and outfit 3. So yeah, exactly as they appear in the component switch in the mutable setup. Now drag your current outfit index variable into the graph, get, and connect it to the index input of a get node from the outfit names array. This grabs the correct outfit name based on the index that we just updated. Then plug the result of that get node into the selected option name, the pink pin, on the set int parameter selected option node. In the parameter name field, type the exact name of your enum parameter from mutable. So again, go back and check. In my case, that's outfits. Finally, connect then1 from the sequence node into this to trigger the outfit change after we updated the index. Finally, from the output of set int parameter selected option, add a update skeletal mesh async node. This node is what tells Mutable to apply the changes visually to the character. Plug the customizable object into target, compile, and save. And that's it. Let's test it. Press 1 in game and you should be able to cycle through all of your outfits. So yeah, super clean and super scalable. So just a quick disclaimer, I am still new to Blueprint scripting and this took me a few tries to figure out. This is what I originally started with. So originally I didn't even have a component switch in my mutable setup. I was just plugging clothing meshes straight into the object and handling everything manually in the blueprint, toggling visibility, using booleans, branches, separate variables for each outfit. Like it kind of worked, but as soon as I was adding more outfits, things were getting more and more complicated and chaotic, and I knew that this wasn't going to be scalable. So at the end, this is what I ended up with. So it's so much more elegant. Using a component switch with an enum parameter made everything scalable and clean. Honestly, it just really shows how important it is to sometimes just step back and think about your structure instead of just patching things together, which is something that I definitely do sometimes just to get things working super quickly. But yeah, not ideal. All right, now we're going to copy paste this same logic for the shoes. Again, I'm doing the exact same thing as I did for the clothing, just replacing variables to current shoe index and shoe names and replacing the key binding to 2, obviously. So I'm gonna skip the commentary on that one since it's exactly the same. You can just skip to the end if you wanna see the final graph. So yeah, now you can test it out, and when we press play, 1 cycles through the outfit and 2 cycles through the shoe options. All right, next we're going to set up the accessories. Now, these weren't part of my original Mutable setup because they're static meshes, and Mutable only works with skeletal meshes. So I used a slightly different system here. Obviously, the best way to handle accessories would be to make them skeletal meshes and include them in your Mutable setup so that way basically everything is controlled in one place. But since in my previous tutorials I used static meshes for the accessories, I still want to show that there's a workaround that still lets you toggle them in game. It's not as elegant, but it gets the job done if you're working with static meshes like I was. So first, make sure that your accessories are part of your third-person blueprint and turn visibility off for both of them. Back to the event graph. Let's create a variable called sunglasses index. Set it to integer. Drag it into the graph as a get node. We're going to use key 3 to switch between different glasses. Drag the sunglasses index variable again, but this time choose set. Then add an add node and plug the current index into it. This is how we increase the index every time the key is pressed again. Next, we add a sequence node to split the logic into 2 parts. From then 0, we plug into a branch that checks if the index is greater than 1. This lets us reset it back to 0 so that it loops. If the condition is true, we set sunglasses index to 0. If false, we just leave the value as is. Copy paste sunglasses index again, equal to, and plug that into another branch. Copy this part and plug it into condition here. From then 1, we go into another branch. This one checks if the current index equals 0. If it's true, we show glasses 1 and hide glasses 2. If it's false, we do the opposite, hide glasses 1 and show glasses 2. compile and save. Oh, it's not working. I probably forgot something. Let me go back to my graph. And yep, here's the culprit. I need to change this to 1. So yeah, now you can switch outfits and accessories in real-time gameplay using your keyboard. Obviously, the ideal setup would be to do all of this through a proper character creation UI, because nobody wants to just like memorize a bunch of keybinds just to change tops and bottoms and sunglasses. So in my next tutorial, I'll show you how to build a simple interface for this so that it's way more user-friendly and more like the in-game character creators that we're used to. So yeah, make sure to subscribe if you want to see that. Also, I'm going to start making tutorials that are not just about MetaHumans, but also about building environments in Unreal Engine and a bunch of other stuff. So if there's anything specific that you want to learn or see on my channel, definitely drop a comment and let me know. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and see you next time. Bye.